Hey, what's up? My name is Kade and welcome to my lit kitchen, where the recipes are gonna be as lit as I am. This is a play on Hannah Hart's My Drunk Kitchen, with lots of vegan recipes, terrible jokes, and I'll be having some wine and being lit all at the same time. If you're looking for some terrible food puns, you're gonna wanna stick around. As you know, my channel is called Kade Cooks, so I was thinking you might as well get a recipe from me once in a while. Instead of just a boring old recipe, I'll just be enjoying different types of wine and just being litty and having a good time. And hopefully I can make you laugh as much as I make myself laugh. Today we're making a balsamic glazed tempeh steak with roasted garlic rosemary mashed potatoes. This recipe is gonna blow your freaking mind. And if you're vegan and you're like,
I'm sick of just boring vegetables.
Check this out. It is good in protein and oh, it's so good. It's not the most healthy, but still so freaking good. You will always want to have your mashed potatoes like this after you try it. In the description of the video, I will do the full ingredient list if you are interested in trying it out. And if you do decide to make it, please tag me on Instagram. I would love to see it. Even if you just make the mashed potatoes, you're gonna be like, shook with how fire they are. They're so fire. This is my lit kitchen for a reason. So before I get into the recipe, I'm gonna be drinking this delicious red wine today. I'll give a brief description of the certain things that I'll be drinking going forward if I do decide to do more videos like this. Leave in the comments below if you really like it. I might even do a separate channel for this. To make this recipe even more lit and for your viewing pleasure, I am going to be drinking some red wine, and this is my absolute favorite red wine blend. It's just so smooth. It's like velvet in your mouth. You don't necessarily need wine for the recipe because it's mostly for your drinking pleasure, but I do throw some of the red wine in my balsamic glaze, so it is like a nice part to have included in the recipe, even if you do cook off the alcohol. Kick back, relax, enjoy. I don't know about you, but whenever I see this thing, it reminds me of someone being like, here, I'll put this here, especially this part. It's me! With the armpit hair and everything. The huge thong at the bottom, it's also me. Totally. The moment of truth. Let's pray to God they're even praying with me. The wine bottle opener. That this will actually come out in one piece. Oh shit. Please stay, please stay. Ooh. Something that I recommend is if you're trying to avoid that occasional crunch of the fruit fly, since it is the summertime, recommend just putting the cork back on, just a little bit. So I've heard from a lot of people that vegan food is not very flavorful, whether it be tempeh or tofu, things like that. Well, through videos like this, I hope that you'll be able to see that there is so much potential and so much flavor to be had. I'm not personally vegan, but my boyfriend is, and I eat vegan a lot of the time. One huge key to be able to have a lot more flavor to those proteins is actually being able to marinate them. I think a lot of the time, especially when you have fast food and order something with tempeh or even tofu, people just do not marinate it long enough, so it just tastes like soybeans, which it's fine, but where's the flavor? So for the tempeh marinade, you're gonna wanna marinate the tempeh for at least 2 hours, up to overnight. So if you're just gonna make the balsamic glazed tempeh, what you're gonna need is 1 package of tempeh. I encourage you check out the one from Trader Joe's because it's really affordable and it actually tastes better than a lot of them that I've tried out before. I did mine for overnight. Get 5 cloves of garlic, break them off, make sure that they're all, ready. There's none of this gross skin stuff on it. A 1/4 cup of balsamic vinegar. A tablespoon of olive oil. And for salt, I just usually am like, I usually just like pour it into my hand to have better control over the amount so I don't over salt something. And to get some freshly cracked black pepper in there and blend it all up in the blender. Decided to make the marinade last night for it. So after you have it all blended up, get a container. I would say like one that is more of a square shape, like a larger square, and have like all of the tempeh completely covered. Do all of that, and this is what it will look like the next day. Oh my God. It smells so good. It looks disgusting, but it smells so good. For the roasted garlic rosemary potatoes, it is a fairly simple recipe, but the complex flavors that it really delivers is just like a hit in the face. It just hits you and it's so good. You're like you're gonna have like a mouthgasm. Like for the roasted garlic rosemary potatoes, this is what you're gonna need. Get 4 small-ish, medium-sized Yocon Gold potatoes. Yes, you can use any potato, but why I encourage you to use the Yocon Gold is it gives it more of like a buttery, rich flavor, and it just really gives it and allows it to be even more fluffy. Go for the goal! Duh. And your potatoes, you're also gonna wanna get a 1/4 of a sweet yellow onion. Now for these roasted garlic potatoes, it really varies on how much garlic you want, because if you're really like a garlicky guy like me, I'm gonna do about 10 cloves of garlic, but I recommend you start out with 5 and see how you feel. Also gonna need some olive oil, some salt, some nutritional yeast, which this just gives it basically like a cheesy taste for people that are vegan and just wanna have that flavor. Adds delicious flavor. There's the flavor. It can't be rosemary potatoes without rosemary, so get some fresh rosemary. Finally, you're gonna wanna have some vegan butter to add in at the very end. So I've heard a few different places that if you want the best potatoes, the most fluffy, the most crispy, really wash off the potatoes, like the starch of them. I'm gonna do a quick rinse now, and then after I cut them up, a really nice wash. Like really wanting the best result as possible. If this video gets demonetized because of possible nip slip, I'm gonna be mad. Don't demonetize my nips, please. My outfit for My Lit Kitchen reminds me of that one meme, that one that's like right in front of my salad. Like this video if you know that meme. One of the best, finest gay memes I have seen in many years. So I'm basically just gonna make these little skins of the garlic come off by cutting off the edges. So watch this. This is like a super cool hack. Get this and just, ooh, be careful. Flip it over, be careful, like the rounded side, like to the table like this for garlic, and smash it. That way the like little crusty bits can just come right off super easily. So you're just left with that delicious garlic. And for this roasted garlic potato recipe, I'm just gonna throw these whole garlic cloves just right in the pan. If you are someone that loves garlic, I would say do a lot more, like 7 to 10 cloves of full garlic for like 4 medium potatoes. But if you're like a person that like only kind of likes garlic, maybe like 4 to 5 cloves of garlic, but you still want to throw it in there. Really get that flavor boost. I'm still gonna go get myself some more wine though. Let me know if you'd ever want me to do an ASMR cooking So after you get done smashing the garlic, cut up the potatoes roughly the same size as the garlic chunks. After you thoroughly wash your chunks of potato, go ahead and throw it in your oiled pan. After you cut the onion into quarters, go ahead and peel off each layer and just throw it around the pan. Add a little bit more olive oil, add some nutritional yeast because it really adds that depth of flavor. Delicious. I add about 2 tablespoons to make that cheesy-ish flavor for vegan mashed potatoes. Now put about a tablespoon of kosher salt in your potato mix. After your oven is preheated, just throw in that whole casserole. So whenever I make rosemary potatoes and roast them like this, I usually like to do one whole thing of rosemary like this, where I take a hold of the very top of it tightly, and then with the other fingers, I just slightly, very lightly pull down. And as you can see, they are all like the little rosemary stem things are coming off like fairly easily. Basically everything that's gonna be roasted in this pan is gonna be mashed up, or what I'm gonna do is do the immersion blender. If you want it really fluffy, once again, use the immersion blender. After it's done being whipped up and blended up, I like to use an additional thing of rosemary and chop it up and just fold it in so it can really have that pop of flavor and pop of color and flavor. And finally, into the oven it goes. Delicious. I'm gonna check on it in about 20 minutes. Kind of toss it around a little bit more if it's not like that crispy golden brown. It doesn't need to be like super duper crispy, like crunchy, but that light golden brown caramelization so it can have that nice depth of flavor when you're able to finally eat those delicious mashed potatoes. While the potatoes are being cooked, make sure to actually just shake around your tempeh like marinade to make sure it's completely covered and evenly distributed with the marinade. So I just got an update from my boyfriend, and unfortunately he's not gonna be home for another few hours, so it's just gonna be me and you tonight eating dinner together. I mean, you're just gonna have to make yourself something because I only have 2 tempeh steaks. Sorry. But next time though, next time. So I'll just be throwing on half of the tempeh block that I originally marinated, which it looks like this right now. It smells delicious, like a very basic balsamic vinaigrette that you just throw on like a salad. You can see that like at the bottom. You could honestly use that bottom with the salad. Delicious. So let the pan heat up. I would say do it on like medium heat. And keep in mind that in the oven right now is the roasting potatoes, and I'm so excited for those. It's gonna be so good. Grab one of these steaks. Ooh. So as your tempeh steak is starting to get that flavor infused, you're gonna wanna get a small saucepan like this one and turn on medium to low heat. And get about a 1/4 cup of the balsamic vinegar. Instead of the 2 tablespoons, honestly, with this amount, I'd just add like half a tablespoon-ish. With this balsamic reduction, I'm actually going to add a tiny bit of the wine to add another flavor compound to it, because it actually does add like another layer. I'm all about that layers of flavors. Ooh. Whenever I've made any type of balsamic reduction, I've noticed that it does take quite a while. This has been like 15 minutes. And it's like really close, it's almost there, like it's hard to actually see because there's not a lot, but it's still gonna probably need another like 5 or so minutes, but I can really smell the caramelization flavors really getting there. When your potato mixture is looking like this, it is perfect. You're gonna wanna just throw it in a metal bowl, or even a glass bowl works perfectly fine. And this is the stage where you're gonna mash it up and add your vegan butter. For these potatoes, I did use an immersion blender, but if you just want to mash it up by hand, it works just as well. Once the balsamic glaze gets this thick, you're able to pour it over your delicious sliced tempeh. I am so excited about this meal, and honestly, it was not that hard to make, and it smells so good. And once again, if you're over 21 and you like red wine, I recommend trying some red wine with this recipe, but little tasty of that. And then this delicious vegan steak with vegan mashed potatoes. Ooh. Okay, let's do this. It's a little bit of both. That should not be allowed. For vegan food, that should not be allowed. Oh my God. Oh, that's so good. Oh, that's so good. Oh, it's like smoky at the same time. It's just so rich and like buttery, even though there's no actual butter in it. Like, ooh, look at that. Even with the tempeh by itself, with that balsamic glaze, is like a 5-star winner. It's so good. Fresh rosemary on top, solid. And with the potatoes by itself, they pair like so well together. They just really do. Like, oh, that's so good. This recipe is so delicious and one of my favorites. So if you do decide to make this recipe, please comment it below, or like tag me on Facebook, tag me on Twitter, even tag me on Instagram. It is all Kade Cooks. I'll link it in the description as well. Let me know in the comment section below if you want to see more videos like this, and if you do, what type of recipes would you like to see? Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Peace. Hey, what's up? My name is Kade, and welcome. Oh, I think that wine has gone bad. Oh my God.